Hi there, welcome to our channel. I'm Vic.
I'm Nick.
And we are MV Board Gaming. And today we're looking at Aeon's End, the Legacy game. This is a 1 to 4 player game. It is designed by Kevin Riley and Nick Little, and it is published by Indie Boards and Cards. Nick is going to go through how you play, and then we're going to give our review.
All right, so how you play Aeon's End Legacy. We have not played the original or any other variations. We went straight to the Legacy game. Played it 2 players all the way through. Did finish it. And the way you're going to play it is, it has a lot of those tropes from a deck building game where you draw 5 each time, you reshuffle when you're done and all that. The turn order is a little different, so you're going to draw a random turn order. You're going to have 2 actions for yourself, 2 actions for your teammate if you have a 2-player game, and 2 actions for the nemesis. And there's going to be various number of episodes. I won't spoil too much in this. I just want to give you general gameplay.
Yeah.
So various chapters in this, but the gameplay is going to play the same as far as your actions. You get those 2 actions each round and so forth. You're using either energy to go ahead and focus on your breaches. You're going to go ahead and buy different cards for your deck, or you can cast. You can cast different spells to hurt your opponent, to hurt your enemy. Again, it's a cooperative game, so there is just the minions and the big boss.
The nemesis.
Yeah, the nemesis, the big boss of every level. And they have various hit points on them. They have various setup, all that. So you can kind of get a feel of how the game plays. You're just trying to get to a certain level as far as how much you're going to hit them to take them down and win the game before either your town is destroyed,
Gravehold, yeah,
or your players are destroyed. So you're trying to do damage before that happens. And that's how you play, really. Yeah, there's going to be a lot more to it, but I don't want to get the game all out for a Legacy game and explain every detail. So we're going to go ahead and jump to pros and cons here. Pros, you got any pros? What you got?
Yeah, so I'll start off by saying I really appreciated it being a cooperative game, and I like the legacy element of this game. I do enjoy getting to reveal different envelopes and progress through the game where you add different things. You may be upgrading a character or have a different ability or something new is introduced to the game. So I do like the legacy aspect of it right off the bat, and that it's a cooperative game and a deck builder. Because I do enjoy building decks. I like games like Dominion and other deck building games that we've played, Empires of the North, like games where you can kind of choose on the cards that you're playing. I mean, deck building, not really Empires of the North, but yeah, you're playing a card. Cards. I like playing cards. So that's good. Cards is a pro. And I enjoyed the challenge of it. I like a game that is difficult. I don't want a game too easy when I play. I would rather have some challenge than have no challenge at all and just breeze through the game. So that right away stood out to me because towards the end we had some challenges. I won't get into any spoilers about the game. I don't want to get any specifics of what happened, but it did feel like things got harder and harder, and we didn't know how to get out of how hard it was. So that's one, maybe it's more of a con, but pro that it was hard, but then too hard. And I also liked the interesting nemesis characters and the minions and how it changed the game every time we played, where it felt like there were different effects or different things happening to us based on the minions that were out, or different ways that you had to go at the nemesis. I thought that was always interesting to have different things like that going on in a game where it's not always the same thing in every scenario, every chapter. It was obviously progressing. When it comes to stories, I thought it was a fair story, but I don't really pay much attention to stories, so I guess it was a better story than not a great story, but it was fair. Yeah. What about you? Do you have any pros on Aeon's End?
Yep. For what you're getting in this box, I think you get a lot of content. I think you get a lot of bang for your buck. If you like Aeon's End, you already know you like Aeon's End. It should be an easy purchase. You shouldn't even be watching us right now. You should probably just go ahead and buy it. If you like the concept of Aeon's End already, just get it. Because you're getting a lot of cards in there. You're getting a lot of stuff. So definitely recommend if you are already a fan of Aeon's End, just for the content alone. The turn order in Aeon's End I like a lot. I like the randomized turn order.
Oh, so yeah, that was cool. That was a cool mechanism.
That. So you don't know if it's your turn next. You really don't. You don't know. You can't plan it exactly right. You're hoping that maybe it's their turn now, or you're hoping it's your turn, or your teammate's turn. You know, you're just hoping it's the luck of a draw. But I do like that. Something about that I like. I like the art in this game. This art is really nice art.
Oh, yeah.
It stuck out. The graphic design is very good. Very good. It's not a ton of text and garbage. You know, I hate those games that it's full of text and we have to read it out, everything. Yeah, there are some cards that have a varying amount of text, but it's not. It looks good. The design, everything. It doesn't look like a cheaply made legacy game. All right. And I also wrote down that I like the design of charges, the idea of charges that only cost 2. So a fatal flaw of a lot of deck building games is you can't afford different things. At least you have in this game charges that will give you a bonus of your ability, so you can at least spend your 2 charges. Yeah, there's nothing for 1, so you might have that odd number, but at least you got something for 2 every time.
Yeah.
A lot of cards, it costs 3 or more. Usually there's 3 or more out there. At the beginning, I can't remember if we had a 2 out there. There may have been, but a lot of it's 3, 7 even. It goes to 7. I think we even saw 9 at one point at the very end. So it's nice that the charges are there. It's a good design choice to have something cheap that you can do at any time. It's always good. All right, so cons.
Well, I think to speak to that, what you're discussing with the market cards, I thought that a lot of them were pretty weak, or they were too difficult to attain. So I don't want to spoil anything. I'm not going to talk about specifics of it, but at the end, we didn't really have much choice of what we wanted to buy, because the really high-priced ones, they were going to be great. Yeah, they were going to do a lot of damage and stuff, but you knew you were never going to be able to afford it. Especially with me, I had some broken parts of mine. I don't, again, want to spoil anything, so I'm going to try to keep it as limited as I can, but I couldn't always use my crystals to buy things from the market, and then it became harder and harder at that, and I felt like it was like I don't want to call it a death spiral, but like a downward spiral where things just I couldn't improve anything, and it was just like, all right, I'm going to keep doing 1 hit. So, I'm hitting them for 2. Like, that didn't feel very powerful to me, and I didn't like that. So that was a big con for me. A legacy game, I would probably rank it at the lowest of all the legacy games I've played, just because of the way it fizzled out at the end for us in our gameplay. Again, not going to say specifics, what happened, but it doesn't rank very highly for me. The only saving grace for it was its cooperative nature. I like that. And very difficult to win towards the end. Not butthurt about it. But I want to feel like we're making some, gains, and that I feel like things can get better. And I didn't feel like it could get better.
All right, yeah. I'll elaborate on a couple of those points then. One of them being that you're spending turns to get those cards. And if you get a run of bad minions and you're trying to build a deck, and you're dead. Especially later in the game when it got harder. Yeah. You're trying to build that deck and it's too late. They're already hitting you way too much if you get a bad run of cards. And it's good that they rank them. They give you levels as far as it's supposed to get worse and worse. But I mean, if you're going to hit left and right, you only have 10 health. I mean, you might get 15 if you're a different character. But it's rough. It can get rough, especially later in the game, because you want that. Your inclination is to build a deck, like in a deck building game. You're trying to build that deck out, and then you can go ahead and compete. This game may or may not give you enough time to do that in certain situations, and it is what it is. Sometimes there's a bad run of cards that can happen. Another thing that you hinted at the end there is that the progression. So I'm not going to say you don't progress at all, because you do a little bit, but the progression is so minimal to me. I have to rebuild a deck every single time I play a chapter.
I know what that.
In a legacy game, I don't like that. I like thoroughly changing my character. I like building them up. I like to be Gloomhaven. I like different cards on my hand. I like different things that I like being able to pick. But that's not what this game is. It's not Gloomhaven. And but the thing is, I own Gloomhaven, so why would I own Aeon's End? In my opinion, I get the same feels of trying to beat the baddies.
Yeah.
Yes, the minions are equal to the actual the monsters in Gloomhaven.
Yeah, the dungeon.
There's no big boss though in Gloomhaven, and this game has that. So if that's appealing to you, that this is a pro for this game.
Yeah.
You do have an ultimate guy you're fighting. But I just don't see owning both those games. Because I'll just keep Gloomhaven as far as Aeon's End.
Yeah, I felt more satisfied with Gloomhaven over this one, just because of exactly what you said, the progression, upgrading your character. I mean, it was like the biggest highlight was writing a funny name for the equipment. Like some of the upgrades I had on my character, they didn't thrill me, I guess.
All right, some other things I got here. Needless rules overhead with the breaches out there.
Oh yeah,
I think that could have been handled a little better.
Yeah.
That's my thought on that. Again, there's a lot of diehard fans for this, so I'm gonna get plenty of hate. Probably getting a lot of downvotes.
Down on him.
That's fine. I just think that was needless. That can be a lot simpler to cast and stuff, and do your breaches.
I know, I didn't get that, and I kept saying, "Oh yes, I turned it. I guess is this okay?" And then things felt wrong. Uncomfortable.
Yeah. So yeah, like I said, you can be sometimes defenseless against a bad run of minion cards, and the deck building in this game, the fatal flaw, the deck building in this game isn't that strong to me. If you're a huge deck building fan, I don't know if it scratches that itch. I don't. Rebuilding your deck every game, I don't feel it. I think there are so many better deck building games. Even the basic Dominion, like Vic mentioned, is a more fulfilling deck building game. Yes, you start the same every time, but nobody's pummeling you as you try to progress the game.
Yeah, nobody.
You're like, I'm just trying to get a good deck going, and then you're hitting me 5. I'm like,
and then damaging parts of
that comes out.
the cards that you have are damaged, and now you can't buy any more cards, and there's no way to ditch those broken cards. Which again, I'm trying to restrict myself.
And if you have, let's say, like an ability out there that just comes out and says, if you want to discard it, you gotta get rid of 6 mana between you, or however they call it, energy. And those are cards I was gonna try to deck build with. So.
Oh yeah, the downgrade that was hitting you
That was
every
another
time.
one
So
too, another downgrade.
I couldn't buy any cards. Anyway, I don't want to get into exactly what happened, but I couldn't buy any cards. He could buy cards, very expensive, nice cards that he would then be hit with a minion ability that was like, oh, downgrade that, throw that in the garbage.
If you can't downgrade, then lose a bunch of health.
Yeah,
all right, that was our negatives. So scores.
We just had a combined groan.
Oh.
So my score for this is going to be a 7.2. That's my score for Aeon Zen Legacy. If you've played Aeon Zen, like Nick said, this will probably be appealing to you. This will probably be something that you'll enjoy. But for me, I could not play it again and be happy in my life.
All right. So, a legacy game, you shouldn't in the middle of it feel like I can't wait for this to get done.
I know.
And you don't want to play it anymore. You just want to get rid of it. It's a 5.7 for me. I can't give it that high that Vic gave it because I really wanted to be done with it. I was like, let's get this out.
I know at the end, I saw your face.
Room in my game library is scarce right now, and I couldn't wait to get this out of my library. It's not that the game is terrible, and the designers aren't terrible. I know Nick Little has done some great games. Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition is his.
Oh, yeah.
Heroes Welcome, one of your favorites, is Nick Little's.
What? All right. Okay.
Kevin, though, is known, I believe his name, Kevin is known for this game, though. Sorry, Kevin. Hits on a lot of cylinders, it fires on a lot of cylinders for a lot of people. I appreciate it for that. It wasn't for us, that's all.
Yeah.
It wasn't for me, especially.
I still enjoyed the time with you.
Yeah, it had its moments. It had its moments, especially early on.
Mm-hmm.
But then there's that sinking feeling, and it happens in a few legacy games where it's like, this isn't getting better, is it? It's not getting better.
And that's what I felt with this, and that's what took away from it the most. But then I tried to compensate with my score with sort of the experience at the beginning, and also just having some fun in a cooperative game where, I just felt we were beating up on somebody, and I like that.
Some rounds will be better than others, and that's just how it is. And maybe you're going to have all the chapters play out great for you, and it just lines up. The stars align, you get perfect minions come out and everything, and it's just a good old time bashing minions. Not for us.
Yeah.
Unfortunately.
Well, we hope you do have a good experience if you do pick up this game. And let us know in the comments below if you have played this or if you've played any Legacy games. What shines the most for you? What game do you really like in the Legacy department? If you enjoyed this video, please click the thumbs up, and subscribe to our channel for more great videos. We'll see you next time.